Howdy, folks, and welcome back to session 2 for our Changeling, the second edition, Viva Lost Vegas. Before we get into it today, again, just want to take a moment and remind everybody about the Pugmire Kickstarter that Onyx Path Publishing has going on now, getting close to some of the later stretch goals, so it's go time, folks. That being said, let's get into it. So we left off on session 1 with the players getting to the freehold of Lost Vegas and getting filled in on some things about what's going on and about the wild hunt that happens every new moon. Today is going to be June 10th, 2021, the day of the new moon. So everybody, starting with Kinsey, can you sum up what you've been doing over the last few days?
So over the last 2 days, I went around the freehold trying to figure out what the other changelings in the freehold did during the hunt. I learned that the summer changelings often wander the streets all night, saving people that they can. Winter changelings tend to hide. They have their own little fort. Spring changelings usually spend the night in the public around a large amount of people. And autumn changelings tend to just do whatever. On my second day action, I went to check out Clara to see how she's doing in the hospital and to see if they needed any protections, additional protections that we could offer. And it seems like they're going to be pretty well guarded by the Summer King and court who's stationed in and around the hospital.
Okay. And for the last little bit, so for day actions, Kit has gone to the library and basically gotten a primer on the last 100 years or so. He's missed a lot. And he's a little overwhelmed, but he's doing what he can. And also for the second day action, spent the day in the armory with Kurt, his time buddy, kind of just getting a feel for what modern rifles are like, and seeing, just making a friend basically.
And Elliot has been, first, he spent some time with Moggins, learning a little bit about being a changeling. He got explained that promise that we made with Will Wisp and promises like it, and how we can make our own bargains and deals, and how certain changelings use those bargains to get themselves safety on nights like, the upcoming new moon. And on the second day, I went and looked around for some likely folks who might need some help that could perhaps be talked into such a bargain so we could find someplace safe to be. I found a couple of people who might be interested. A young woman who needs their apartment clean. A mid-50s gambler who's having some trouble winning at the casinos. And a mob heavy who has been having nightmares after killing some young kid and would like to stop having nightmares. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, before we get started today, let's also go around the table and go over your new aspirations.
All right. For Elliot, I've got help clean up, survive the night, get somewhere safe to be, make sure my friends don't get hurt, and break a mask.
My aspirations this week are get my feet wet, find out where I fit in the freehold, find a job, get a safe place to spend for the night of the hunt, and survive the hunt.
All right. Kit's aspirations are pretty straightforward. Still get a horse, get a rifle, survive the night. Very straightforward.
Alrighty. Now, we're going to have some very short solo scenes for everybody. Let's have you all just roll initiative real quick, and then I'll go around the table and in that order.
I'm sorry, I'm blanking out here. What was the
So you'll roll a single die plus your initiative mod, which is going to be your dex plus composure. In my case, I rolled a 9 and I have an initiative mod of 6, so that's a 15.
Okay, what is okay? Ooh, ouch. Okay, so it looks like I'm at a 9.
Even at your slowest, you're pretty fast.
And Kinsey?
I rolled a 4 with a +7 initiative modifier.
That's an 11. So we'll go Elliot first, then Kit. Then Kinsey, then Kit. All right. That being said, the last few days, Elliot's been getting to know a new facet of being a changeling. Having been taken by fairies and spending so long in the realms of Arcadia, next door to where humans dream, changelings are all lucid dreamers. And sometimes things get even weirder than normal dreams. Elliot finds himself dreaming and looking into a bright pool in a dark, thorny space. In that bright pool, he sees the Lord of Tales with several goblins having brought him a bird in a cage. It's huge, a bird of prey of some sort, with gold designs on its beak and around its eyes. The Lord nods to the goblins and says, "How did you catch this one? I think he'll do well." One of the hobgoblins kneels and says, "My lord, he did his best to get away from us, flying and whatnot, but with your benediction, his kind are never beyond our reach." The Lord smiles at them and takes up a knife and says, "Bring him to my chamber. We must create someone special to hunt down these new renegades." Elliot wakes up in a cold sweat.
Well, that's exciting.
Kinsey dreams as well. This dream is different from the other dreams she's had since leaving Arcadia. She finds herself dreaming of sitting on a bench. She gets the explicit feeling that she's waiting for someone, but she isn't waiting long. She hears the rattle of wood on wood, and someone familiar sits down on the bench beside her. A wooden puppet in regal dress. It turns to face her. It looks very familiar, except for the eye, that right eye that Hershey and Clara helped remove during the escape from Arcadia. It's now a ornate golden half mask covering the eye, which looks at you with a fiery glance. Literally, molten gold boils within the socket. The puppet bows and says, "Good morning. Well, it'll be morning soon. You may remember me, Prince Oliver Oakenheart. How do you do, my dear?"
How does it feel to burn, motherfucker?
"Bad," he says. But then he laughs and says, but no pain, no gain, as they say. He takes a small knife out of his pocket and sets the burnt leg from on the bench beside him and begins whittling away. He says, "But we carve ourselves anew day by day." And an opportunity for what some view as an opportunity, others may view otherwise. He looks up at you and smiles, his wooden face bending strangely. And he says, "However, I hope that you'll view today as an opportunity. I have an offer for you, ma'am."
You gonna save me 15% on my car insurance?
He laughs heartily and says, "Where you're going, we don't need cars." He spreads his arms and says, "I can offer you anything you want, whether it's safety, complete and total safety from my father and my people and myself, or up to and including a place beside me as my dearest sister princess. We just desire a few things. Things that we recently lost."
What, do you have like some kind of spinning wheel with a needle or something?
"Oh, my father's favorite drinking flask, one of his serving beasts, his favorite dancing doll. You have no idea how long it took for him to acquire that. It was a personal gift from me to him, after all. And of course, a book, a pen, and that sword of mine that you borrowed. If you bring these knickknacks to us, you can have anything you want."
You know, that sounds like a terrible offer, so deuces.
Prince Oliver nods and says, "Of course, have some time to think about it. We shall be seeing each other soon. After all," he stands up and winks with his golden boiling eye. Tonight will be the night of the full moon." Kinsey wakes up. Clutched in her hand is a piece of paper detailing Prince Oliver's offer. Kit wakes up. He hasn't had any certain special dreams. It's new moons. I'm sorry if I've said full moons by accident. It's the night of the new moon. Anyway, just wanted to clarify for chat. Anyway, Kit hasn't had any special dreams, but he does wake up to see one of the cats from Lost Vegas scurrying away into the hall, having left a newspaper for him. Paging through the newspaper, something immediately catches his eye on the third page.
Okay. What do I see?
New exhibit from Cotton Entertainment Company held in the lobby of the Emerald City Casino, detailing 80 years of Las Vegas history. Come and see. And then it details various artifacts and times that the exhibit will be open to the public.
Okay. I will be saving that particular advertisement. Thank you. I guess I owe the wait staff a thank you.
Make them some catnip tea.
All right, everybody. Time weighs on until the early evening. Soon it'll be time for you to get together. Where do you want to do this?
All right. So I believe that my plans for today, before it got too dark, were to go find that young woman who had needed help with their apartment. See if I could talk them into letting me get the place cleaned up.
All right. Will the others be with you, or do they have their own plans?
I was thinking the others could come with me. You guys mind lending a bit of a hand?
We'll go in as a impromptu cleaning team trying to make a name for our new business.
Yeah.
All righty. All right, let's get started then. It's about 5 p.m. The sun will be setting soon. Where are you?
I believe we are at the High Hopes, having tracked down the young woman in question.
All righty. The young lady that you found during your downtime worked as a wait staff at the High Hopes. You find her again. She's college age, small, mousy brown hair. She's carrying around a tray of drinks between the various tables. So, what are you guys doing at the moment? Have you taken a table? Or are you wandering around?
I think taking a table is the easiest way to justify talking to some of the wait staff.
Kenzie, Kit?
Works for me.
Yeah.
I sit at the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and wait for Elliot to do his talky bit.
All right. Elliot, how do you want to approach this then?
It's pretty easy to justify if this person's talking with fellow wait staff that I work at one of the other casinos and heard somebody was looking for some help getting cleaned up, starting my own little business, and I wouldn't mind, helping them get going. Willing to do this for, just a quick little favor. If they want to see a demonstration of what we're capable of, and we're happy to keep the place cleaned up for them.
One thing you would have known from discussing promises and pledges with Moggins and the other changelings in the Freehold is that in order to do that, you have to drop your mortal mask and show them your fey mien. For everyone out there, changelings and other fairies look human because they have something called a mask that hides their true self, which is called a mien, M-I-E-N. Dropping your mien is can have some benefits, but it will also inform any fey beings in the vicinity of where you are and give them bonuses to tracking it.
Well, we gotta do this eventually, so ask them to talk, find somewhere private we can have the conversation off the floor, and go take care of that.
Can we have Elliot do the talking, but me be the one that drops the
I think to do the bargaining, we're all gonna have to.
all of us? Okay.
Well, not necessarily all of you. A bargain is with one person per the rules.
All right, then I will take care of that then. Then let's go have that discussion somewhere off the floor. Obviously, this person wouldn't want to talk personal stuff out on the floor where their boss can see it. Perfectly reasonable.
All right. In that case, you're going to have to convince her to take a break to talk to you, random person.
Presence plus persuasion work for you?
All righty.
I'm a very trustworthy sort of character.
And just to inform chat, no, you cannot make a bargain through a secondary person. The others would not receive the same amount of protection from a bargain that the one who made it did, but
all right.
You would still have that initial bargains protection, and if it's protected from the Fae for one person, then it's just protected from the Fae in general.
All right.
One of the big benefits of making a bargain for folk is the fact that at the site of your bargain, the Fae, huntsmen, goblins, and the true Fae cannot sense your presence. So that would apply to the others,
All right.
because they're in a place that's protected.
Well, then let's get that place protected. I'm going to go make that bargain.
All right, so go up to this young lady and tell me what you're saying and make the roll, please.
Hey there, I've heard through a couple of my coworkers that you're looking to get your place cleaned up. I have connections to a cleaning service. We're just getting started, and if you need someone to get that taken care of for you, we'd be happy to keep that place held up for you for a nominal cost. No real issue. Need to have some people saying nice things about us to get off the ground. You know how it is.
The young woman jumps with a start and then notices who's talking to her. When you say that you're cleaning service, she breathes a sigh of relief and says, well, I don't know if I can afford a cleaning service. I mean, I'm a waitress.
That's perfectly fine. What we want to be able to do is use the before after pics for advertising, have a nice testimonial, just someone saying we're doing a good job out here. It's hard to get started, you know how it is.
Okay, well, I'm interested if you're willing to clean my place for free, if that's what you're saying.
That's no problem. We can get that sorted out for you. Of course, just to get the details, you mind if we take a quick break off the floor just to, go over this, make sure we're on the up and up, and a couple things. I'm sure your boss wouldn't want you doing business on the floor.
She nods eagerly and calls over one of her friends. You can hear her whispering in her ear, these guys run a cleaning service and they're willing to clean my apartment for free. They just need some pictures. Can you cover for me? The other girl takes her tray, and the young lady waves you over towards a hallway that looks disused, mainly where someone might go to catch a quick smoke. There's a couple of chairs and a table in a corner that she sits down at. She smiles and says, my name's Dulcie. What's yours?
At that point, I think we might as well just be straightforward. I'm going to drop my mask and speak to them openly.
All right, bear with me just a moment.
I believe that costs a glamour.
Yes. All right, so in an explosion of translucent forms, your true face is revealed. Give us a quick description here, Elliot.
Basically, I am. What if you gave a glass decanter arms and legs? The liquid sloshing around. forms the contours of my body, and little fumes coming off of it give the details of my face behind the glass. The glasswork is elaborately carved, giving what details there are of my body, and that's mostly what we got.
All right. Dulcie jumps back without getting up. She nearly ends up falling backwards in her chair. She begins stuttering nonsense. What is this? Where's the camera?
All right. So, as I said, I'm happy to clean up your apartment for free. We are, well, I'm sure you've heard about the shoemaker's elves. Same kind of an idea. We come in, we clean things up, you leave out a little something for us, and you don't have to worry about anything. We heard you needed some kind of help, and, well, we're always eager to assist. I'm gonna guess that's gonna be a presence plus persuasion to maybe calm this person down a little bit.
Considering how traumatizing this sort of thing can be, yes, make that roll, and I'll give you a -2 penalty, please.
I'm gonna take a willpower because this is kind of important. So that's -2 + 3. We're going on a 7.
Oh, and I would also like to remind you before we go much further that dropping your mask means it stays dropped for the rest of the scene.
I know, but this is all I have to do with this scene.
Alrighty. So I see you've made your roll and you've got an exceptional success.
Mm-hmm.
After a few minutes of hard breathing, Dulcie calms down. She gets up and looks around for cameras. But after a few minutes of checking behind every piece of statuary, every piece of art on the wall, any little cracks that she sees, she sits down. Then she gets back up again immediately and goes ahead and taps you on the forehead.
I make a ringing sound, much like one would if you tapped a glass.
She does this in a few other places, inspecting things like the folds of your elbow. After a moment or two, she says, "So that's not a costume." And I don't see
I would much
any cameras.
prefer it was, but unfortunately, no.
So why in the hell do you want to clean my apartment?
Let's just put it this way. Everybody has a thing that they need to do, and the shoemaker's elves were making shoes for a reason. I wouldn't mind cleaning up your place if it makes things easier for you. Do we have a deal?
She looks around everywhere, suddenly anxious. So this isn't my soul or anything, right?
No, it's a drink once a night, every night. Just bring one over to the table. That's it. Doesn't even need to be anything.
Okay,
Exchange.
so the pictures and a drink. So are you going to clean my place for as long as I keep giving you free drinks?
You got it.
She throws her hands up in the air and says, "Well, you only live once. Do I need to sign something in blood?"
Shake my hand. I reach out my hand, cold and clear.
Briefly hesitant, she reaches out and grabs your hand. The cold chill of the glass makes her jump slightly again before she settles into it and shakes.
I bind it on the weird.
There's a burst of translucent thorns around her hand. She blinks briefly, seeing them before they disappear from her sight and yours, coincidentally. She puts a hand to her chest and says, "What was that?" And then she notices a translucent string wrapped around her finger, tied in a bow. She touches it and can feel it, but it's see-through. She looks back at you and sees a matching one for you.
Bond of our agreement. Now, I don't think I need to clarify this, but you probably shouldn't tell anyone you made a deal with a fairy to get your apartment cleaned.
She nods and says, I would very much like to not be in an asylum, please.
Sounds good. So I'll have that cleaned up by the end of the night. Have a nice day. Oh, I will need a copy of your key and your address, of course.
Sure, fine. Whatever you need. Apparently fairies are real. I just can't.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
Alrighty. So with that being done, she heads out. And we're going to be ending this scene with one small complication. The others are still in the front room of the casino. You have dropped your mask, and this won't go away until the end of the scene, and you are now in public. So tell me, how are you guys getting out of there without leaving Elliot behind?
You said I was in the whatchamacallit,
You are, yeah. You are. But if you go out and tell them job's done, you're going to spook some folk.
Oh, I know. Is there a bathroom back here?
Yeah, there is.
All right, I'm going to go head to the bathroom, and I'm going to give a ring to one of their cell phones.
I don't have a cell phone.
Right, you're 100 years old.
So, Kinsey, did you get a cell phone during your downtime?
I did not. However, I did think this through. And I watched the direction that they went in, and I hand half of the stack of papers that I have to Kit. And we start walking back towards where they disappeared to, handing out signs for the freak show down on Fremont Street.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, how are you getting them out then?
Well, I'm hoping to get one of them to come over to the bathroom because I believe that Kit is in possession of a way for us to leave through the mirror.
Okay. So we have, because he dropped the mask, we have bonuses to track him, right?
That's true. Any fey creature, and you are a fey creature.
Okay. So I would like to track him down.
Alrighty. So give me an intelligence plus
Survival?
Survival roll. Yes. Intelligence plus survival.
Okay. Okay, then if that's the case, okay. Wow, I do not have a good dice book for this.
There's some willpower. We'll survive.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Yeah, sure.
And what's the bonus that they get?
Roll your assist pool, and then I believe it's the number of successes Kenzie gets, and then that will be the extra dice that Kit can roll.
1 success.
So you get an extra dice.
Okay. Bonus. 1. Okay, let's see if this whole thing works. 3 successes. So it was a intelligence of 1, survival of 4, willpower of 3, and then bonus of 1 from Lax.
A success is a success. So, with Kinsey assisting you, you two are able to track down the scent of glamour in the air to the bathroom, where Elliot has trapped himself by accident.
Hey, kids.
All right, let's go home. So, what's a survival? Okay, I'm actually good at that. Okay, so I am going to spend a glamour. I walk over, grab, I have everybody do like a chain holding hands, and what page is this? 147. Okay.
What contract are you invoking?
Mirror walk.
Mirror walk.
Yep, there we go. 1 glamour plus 1 willpower, wits plus survival plus weird.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me. Okay. We're here, so.
And we've definitely touched the mirror back at the hotel where we're staying. No reason we wouldn't have.
Yep. Okay. So wits is 4. Survival is 4. Weird is 1. Anything I'm missing?
Nope.
All right, roll them bones.
All right.
That is 1 success.
Dang, but a success is a success.
Success is a success. So, the mirror begins to shine and roil as though it were liquid. Momentarily, the group steps through and finds themselves in the bathroom of your hotel room. There, you can wait out the time until Elliot's mask reasserts itself and he looks human to the populace at large.
All right.
All right, so we've got your bargain taken care of, guys. So what are you doing next? It is getting dark now.
I
We
think
should probably go clean the apartment.
I've got an address and a key. It's not going to get any easier to get this place cleaned.
Yep.
All righty. So now that you've got the your mask back, did any of you acquire a means of transportation?
Yes. I was told about this nifty thing called Uber.
But you don't have a phone.
I believe
Elliot
Elliot
have-
does.
All right, Elliot, do you have a phone?
I've been down for less than a year. I would have immediately gone out and replaced my cell phone.
All righty, that makes sense to me. So you call up an Uber and you head out to Dulcie's apartment. You've been given a copy of the key. That didn't take too long. And you find yourself at one of those modest high-rises where college kids tend to gather. You go in just as the sun sets. It is fully night now.
All right. So Brownie's Boon is a lovely little what do they call merits? Yes, merits, which allows me to do menial work as long as nobody's looking at me fairly quickly. Let me pull up the text. All right. Like the Shoemaker's Elves, your character completes tasks with actual disregard for time. Reduce the interval for any mundane extended action roll they make while no one watches them by half. The character may spend a glamour to have the interval again, working at 4 times their normal speed for the roll. What kind of role is cleaning an apartment?
Great. Let's make that a stamina plus athletics check.
If there's anything I'm good at, it's running.
Well, before you make that roll, I do also want to remind you, since you've just made a bargain, add the persistent obliged condition to your character sheet.
I am obligated.
Just to explain this, the obliged condition, your character swore a bargain, not an oath with a human being. The obligation on his or her part is probably minor, but they can't let it lapse. Not only would that disappoint the person to whom she gave her word, but it would expose him or her to the huntsman and their gentry masters. While under a bargain, the changeling is more difficult to find. Huntsmen must win a clash of wills to use their hunter's senses power when tracking the changeling, and fey beings no longer add the changeling's weird and dice to do so when he or she drops their mask. In addition, once per chapter, when the changeling is at the site of her obligation, she may hide without fear of discovery for the rest of the scene. This benefit applies to any pursuer touched by the weird, be it huntsman, gentry, hobgoblin, or another changeling.
All right. Well, let's get started on cleaning that up then.
All right. Did you make your roll? Or, all right, go ahead and make your roll then.
All right. Let's get down to business. So how big a mess have we gotten here?
When you overheard Dulcie saying that her apartment was a mess a few days ago, she meant it. When you three enter the apartment, the first thing that strikes you is pizza boxes, literally, because a tower of them falls from behind the door and covers you. After a couple minutes, you're able to struggle out from under it. You're now about ankle deep in pizza boxes. There's dirty laundry all over the place. You think you can make out the shape of a couch. Excuse me. You think you can make out the shape of a couch, but the only way you can actually make that educated guess is because you can definitely see the TV screen under a bunch of various knickknacks and old food containers. There's a certain scent in the air. You think to yourself briefly, yeah, no wonder Dulcie's boyfriend wouldn't want to hang out here.
Well, I asked the others to stand outside to haul the trash down to the curb as they notice with a disturbingly quick rate of trash bags being handled out the door by someone who clearly did not have enough time to fill them.
Alrighty.
Sorry, there's certainly going to be somebody who will see me on the way down, so somebody's just got to manually process these things. There's got to be a dumpster somewhere. It's an apartment complex.
Yeah, thankfully there's one downstairs. So with Elliot doing the work, thanks to Brownie's boom, the others are having to run at high speed in order to get the garbage down there in time. Overall, this takes a while. This probably would have taken a few days without using Fey magic. But since you're able to do that, let's see. You spent, how many glamour did you spend?
I'm going to say 3 is probably going to say I can get a full day's worth of cleaning in an hour.
I'll allow that. Yep. So
if this needs more than a full day's worth of cleaning, there's nothing we can do about this tonight, and this is what I could do.
So I'll say that it takes about 2 hours. So by the time you're done cleaning and have all the trash in the dumpster, it's now about 9 p.m.
Alrighty then. So did we find out when the wild hunt starts?
No one asked that during the downtime, so all you know is it happens during the full moon. The new moon. That being said, I would like everyone to roll me a chance die, please.
Alrighty. That's a 4, a 7, and a 7.
Alrighty. So now that you guys have finished cleaning Dulcie's apartment, where are you?
Part of me says on the curb outside getting some air.
All right, what about Kinsey and Elliot? I mean, not Elliot, Kit.
Probably the same, honestly.
I'm still in the apartment cleaning the grout in the bathroom with a toothbrush.
Alrighty. So, Kit, you said you were.
I'm down with Elliot.
All right, so you two are together then.
Yeah. How I was picturing it is I was standing facing the dumpster, and Elliot was dropping him behind me, and then scurrying back up, and I was just tossing it into the dumpster.
All right. So as you guys stand on the curb, just hanging out and waiting for Kinsey to finish cleaning the grout, you are approached by an old fluffy basset hound on the street. He's wearing a big leather collar with what appears to be a tag that doesn't have anything on it except the symbol of an eye. The dog approaches you and goes, "Oof."
I'd pull my rifle out.
I mean, that's quite the response to a dog.
It's the night of the hunt. I ain't taking chances.
The dog looks up at you, and you see translucent thorns go up and down its body as its eyes glaze over.
Fair enough.
Smart boy. This
Fucking
will
told
be
you.
your only warning. I come. You may come with me quietly, or you may be dragged back.
You'll have to catch me first.
And I shall.
You shall try.
All right, bear with me just a moment here. I am making a roll.
Super secret roll or just a roll?
Just a roll.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
I don't like those numbers.
From a nearby rooftop, you hear the report of a rifle. The curb on your by your feet shatters. You can see a smoking lump of metal in the crater. The dog looks up at you, opening its mouth, and you can hear laughter coming out of it, like it had a speaker in its mouth. Last warning, boy. Run.
All right.
Can I return fire?
if you want.
We're near the dumpster, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be reasonable to say in and among the pizza boxes and whatever else got discarded, I have almost certainly moved a couple of glass bottles.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm gonna go retrieve myself one while he's returning fire. I need some glass. Or rather, let's just skip ahead. I'm gonna be getting close enough to it and triggering primal glory.
Close enough to to the glass or to what?
To the glass.
All right. So you head on over to that glass and let me pull up the wording for primal glory here. That'll be 2 glamour. What is your glamour count at now?
That has me between breaking that. I believe I'm at 3 now. I need to go get some more.
All right. The character, what this does, the effect of primal glory. The character survived the scorching deserts and ice plains of Arcadia. Mere mortal elements cannot harm them. They touch an element and it cows before her. They gain immunity to damage from mundane instances of the element and suffer only half damage rounded down from magical sources. It also curls around them in a protective armor, like a dog eager to please its master, granting them an armor rating of 1/1. The armor hurts anyone who comes in close, dealing 1 point of lethal damage per turn to anyone who engages in melee against them. As an elemental, you also get the seeming bonus. If the elemental chose armor made from the element for which they have an affinity, it deals damage to anyone within a number of meters equal to their weird instead.
I've got a weird of 1, so it's just up close, but that's what it's for.
So Elliot touches the glass, and the glass briefly turns molten and trickles up his arm to harden into armor around his head, arms, and chest.
Delightful.
Glass spikes protrude. Kit, you were saying that you wanted to shoot back.
Yes.
All right. You saw the direction that the shots came from. Do you have any merits or contracts that would help you find your target, or are you simply rolling a skill for this?
Trained observer.
Bear with me. Let's see if that would help.
Do you have the 1 or 3 dot version?
3 dot.
Actually, looking at it here, the effect of the trained observer merit. Your character spent years in the field catching tiny details and digging for secrets. They might not have a better chance of finding things, but they have a better chance of finding important things. Anytime you make a perception roll, usually wits plus composure, you benefit from the 9 again quality. With a 3 dot version, you get 8 again. So that means since we have 3 dots, roll me wits plus composure with 8 again.
Wits plus composure. Okay. So.
And for the chat, just to explain, usually in Chronicles of Darkness, your 10s explode, which means you roll them again. 9 again means your 9s roll again, and your 10s. And 8 again means your 8s, 9s, and 10s roll again.
With that, any success will keep going until you stop getting successes.
Will 4 do it?
That does it. You look around the area and you can see from the corner of a building across the street the flash of some of the glass on the roof. That must be where you were shot from.
All righty. All right, can I shoot now?
All right, roll me wits plus firearms, please.
Wits plus firearms. And specialization and bolt action rifles.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do we got? 4 successes.
Alrighty. You fire. The glint of glass goes away. But before you can start celebrating, you see something ominous. You see someone throwing themselves off the building and then walking calmly down. From this distance, you can't see them clearly, but you can see that they've got something on in their hands. It looks like some sort of ancient bolt-action rifle or maybe a musket. Kinsey, you've been at it for a while. I imagine you've finished with the grout now. What's up?
I have come outside to the sound of a gunshot because we had a safe place and everyone decided to go sit on the curb instead. So obviously something is wrong, even if it's just common sense. And I immediately activate Cloak of Night once I get close enough to them.
Alrighty. For our watchers here, Cloak of Night is a common contract. The effect of that, the Changeling must invoke this contract while he or she and their allies are in dim or dark conditions. As long as they take a penalty of the visual perception rolls, it's dark enough. She drapes the darkness around a number of willing companions equal to her dexterity rating. The player's stealth rolls, to which she adds half her character's weird rounded up in bonus dice, hide the entire group as long as no one does anything to attract undue attention, such as attacking or making loud noises. The Changeling and her companions also take stealth-based actions as reflexive actions once per turn in action timing. That being said, do you get the seeming bonus for Darkling?
I do indeed. I also would like to activate the loophole, given that I was just cleaning someone's bathroom floor that hasn't been cleaned in forever. I would absolutely be wearing some kind of mask.
All right, yeah, I can see why you'd be wearing a cleaning mask here. That being said, you're able to cast it without expending glamour. And you said you wanted to do that once you got close to them, right?
Yes.
All right, they're hanging out by the dumpster. While there is a light there, it doesn't take long to drag them out of it and fold the shadows around yourself. This being done, are you going to wait or are you going to take another action? It's going to be a moment or two before the figure that you can see walking down the wall hits the street.
I'm going to start dragging them back towards the apartment.
Why don't we make those reflexive stealth actions we're all able to make all of a sudden?
All right, let's do that then.
I'm not very good at stealth. Luckily, you completely removed the penalty I have. So that's Dex plus stealth. What's the roll?
Yes, Dex plus stealth.
I'm going to bust out another of my willpower here. Burning the reserves, but it's important. And we were started off the night back up at full, so might as well.
Don't forget to add an extra die for the Cloak of Night.
2 successes.
All right. So the three of you head back towards the apartment building.
I'm going to spend a willpower to reroll that.
Did you spend a willpower to make it? Because you can either spend a willpower to make the roll or re-roll it, but not both.
Right. I did not spend a willpower to up the pool.
All right. Then you can re-roll.
Awesome.
Worth it.
All right, so everybody succeeded then. So you drag them back towards the apartment building. Are you going to wait to observe, or are you guys getting out of here?
Let's get into the apartment building, and I'm going to invoke the obliged condition.
Smart. So the three of you head back into the apartment building. Now, as I roll, as the obliged condition states, you are protected from Fey beings detecting you here. While technically the other two aren't protected, the way I'm going to rule this is that since you're in a place that is protected and you're receiving its protection, then that would extend to your motley mates while they are there with you. If they were there, they were there and you weren't, they get no protection. They're riding your coattails here.
You got it.
Okay, so you head into the apartment building. You wait for a few minutes, and after a while, looking out the newly cleaned windows, you see some concerning things. First off, you see the entity that must have been shooting at you. He's pretty distinctive. He's in the upper 6 feet tall, and he appears to be an old man with a long white beard and an eye patch on one eye. His other eye gleams with light. He carries in his hand an ancient flintlock rifle, and around his neck he has a noose hanging down. He plays absentmindedly with the rope, the bloodhound at his heels, sniffing around. If you move around a little bit to see out the windows and other areas, you can also see several figures in dark robes with porcelain masks going door to door, knocking on the door.
They're not near our door yet, right?
No.
I quickly tape up a sign on the outside of the door that says no soliciting.
Okay, fine, that makes sense. So, yes?
Can you add something to that? Put something on there that says anybody, if by knocking on this door you have consented to a $75 a second fee for speaking with whoever's inside.
Wow. Contract law, everyone. Even more dark than fairy magic.
So give me your reflexive stealth action, Kenzie, to make that, put that sign on the door without being seen. As I understand, your cloak of night is still active until the end of the scene.
Wunderbar.
3 successes.
All right. So you open the door, slap up the sign, and get back in before anybody can see you. Now, this apartment building is arranged in such a way that you've got several floors of apartments around a little courtyard on the inside of the area. So you've got the actual building itself in sort of a square shape with a gate that heads out to the street and another gate that heads out to the parking lot, and you've got the courtyard below. You wait for a few minutes. You wait a few minutes more. You see... Yes?
Could I make a suggestion to Kit real quick? You've got a rifle, right?
Yes, sir. Pretty good with it too.
Would you mind sitting in the back and taking the aim action for as long as you're capable of? I believe it goes up to 3 at about chest height at the door.
Okay. Kenny, do you have the technicalities on the aim action?
Yeah, bear with me a moment.
Yeah, take your time.
Basically, you sit and you stare at something and aim at it, and you get a +1 bonus for every turn you wait aiming.
Okay. Yeah.
And unless you picked up marksmanship, I believe it goes up to +3.
Okay. Here we go. It is on page 185.
Sorry.
185 of the Changeling book.
Okay, I was looking in the Chronicles of Darkness book. 185 at the top, you said?
Yep. Left-hand side.
Alrighty. Side breakthrough. Aim. Keep an opponent in your sights with a ranged weapon to gain a 1 die bonus per consecutive aim action on your next attack against that target to a maximum of 3 bonus dice. All right.
Figure if somebody manages to force their way in, get a nice good shot off.
You don't need to make a roll, but for that you do need to sacrifice your defense. So if you're caught during this, you have an effective defense of 0 and you cannot take any other actions.
Okay.
All right. Going with what I was going to say then, and this is probably a smart idea. So after a few moments, you see the people gathering in the courtyard. You see about 10 people in robes. From the window, you can see the glint of their porcelain masks. It's bookbinders. And you also see the guy with the gun. You can't hear what they're saying, but you can see that he's talking to them about something. Do any of you have a method of spying on them?
I have walls have ears.
Has anybody knocked on the door? The door we're in front of?
No one has.
Okay. Then I don't have a solution for that.
You did put up a sign specifically saying, "Do not knock on our door."
I know. Just, it was entirely possible they tried.
And unfortunately, Kenzie, walls have ears won't work here because that requires you to speak with an object and learn some information about that object or the object's current owner, since you're a Darkling. That will not help you spy on the folk down below. It is on page 138 of Changeling the Lost 2nd edition. Before we move on, anyone else has any ideas?
I'm afraid not.
All right. So you aren't able to overhear what anyone is saying. But you do see the person with the gun moving back towards the apartment building and the bookbinders fanning out. One of them goes to the parking lot. The others go ahead towards the street.
I'm still holding my position. Still aiming.
Alrighty. That being said,
Lex, I think you were going to say something?
Yes, Kenzie stays very still and very quiet and pretends that she does not exist.
All right. So, does anyone have any means of sensing magic or anything?
Other than simply being a changeling, not especially.
Fair enough. Uh, bear with me a moment.
I have a specialty in portals.
Who's got the highest clarity?
I think I've just got the normal one. What's plus comp? I'm at a 6.
Okay, hold on. What's
Who's
plus
everyone's?
composure?
What's everyone's clarity?
8.
4.
6.
Bear with me.
8.
8, 4, and 6. You said.
Yep.
Who had the 8?
I
It
did.
has the 8.
Yep.
Kit has 8. All righty. And who had the 4?
Kenzie.
All right. Kenning is something that you roll, that the storyteller rolls in secret regarding enemies in the area. I did hear that one of you guys said something, and you can take them. And I'll, before I move on, what did you want to do?
I think I was trying to do exactly this. So yeah, let's Ken.
All right. So who had the 4 and who had the 8 in terms of clarity?
Kenzie had the 4.
And Kit has the 8.
All right. So Kit and Kenzie at the window feel a burst of glamour and see thorns briefly appear, climb all over the area of the courtyard, and vanish.
Would my hedge sense help with anything?
No, that's not going to help with this. What would you guys like to do? Continue hiding?
I saw something, so I would like to say nothing and drink to forget.
I don't know what we can do other than simply expose ourselves to the exact danger that would be following us through this door.
That is true, unfortunately.
Quick question. What floor are we on?
See, this is a 4-story apartment building. You are on the 2nd floor.
We can make it to the ground from here then. Do the windows open? I would have certainly checked that while I was cleaning this place.
Yes, they do.
Got it. So we have a secondary exit. That's all I need to know. So I guess we stay here until something forces us to leave.
Yep.
All right. Everyone roll me a chance die then.
Oh, shit.
Those haven't been going well for us lately.
Nope.
Oh, man. That's a big
this-
shiny 1 right there.
Elliot.
3 failures on a chance die.
Ain't we got
This is
fun.
gonna hurt.
The man with the white beard walks.
Question, are you I know this is not a normal roll. Are you willing to let me take a dramatic failure on this one?
Yes.
Or a beat? I will be taking that dramatic failure, everyone. Let's go.
All right.
Heaven or hell, let's rock.
The man with the white beard walks to the center of the courtyard. He's he's about 20 feet down, being 2 floors. But after he puts a hand to his mouth, you can hear him speak because he is shouting. My proud quarry, he says, you have successfully hidden from me. From that, I contend you. For that, I congratulate you. But you are up against a master hunter. I have been leading hunts since your grandfather's grandfather was a child, and before. What do you do when the quarry has gone to ground? He holds up a hand, and in it you can see an orb of fire forming. You smoke them out.
And we're out the door.
The door or the window?
I'm going to say window. Window. Definitely window. Strong on window.
All right, everyone going out the window then?
Yeah.
They're not coming to the door. We're not going to get anything from here other than letting this bargain go up in smoke, as it were.
All righty. So you head out the window. Elliot, give me another chance roll.
Absolutely. Whew.
Remember to take a beat from that dramatic failure.
I absolutely have. Marked on my sheet and everything. Hey, look, a success!
Okay. When we jump out the window, do we see anybody like below us that are wearing masks?
Give me a chance die roll here, Kit.
He got so much success, he got an extra success.
Okay, so I guess the answer here is, do you want them there?
I would prefer we didn't, so nobody knows what apartment we just jumped out of.
All right, then in that case, then the alleyway is empty. You find yourself about 20 feet away from the dumpster where you had been, and you hear the shouts of the huntsman. Smart boy. I like you, rabbits. You have chutzpah. For this, I shall not burn your warren. And then you hear hurried footsteps coming towards you.
All right. I have a second here while we've got this thing out, and we're already on fire anyways. So, Kit or Kenzie, which of you would like a bonus?
I mean, always, for what?
I'm going to predict the future and help you deal with ever bad things about to happen.
Well, I mean, Kinsey? Let's go with Kinsey. They seem to have an idea.
All right. Portents and visions, tapping Kenzie on the forehead and telling them the future. This is manipulation plus occult plus weird. I have 0 training in occult, but I have a willpower and that balances us out. And I've got decent manipulation. So let's make this work.
So the the effect of portent and visions on a success for a fail. Well, go ahead and roll first, then I'll tell everyone what the effect of the contract is.
No dice. Oh well. I tried.
Alrighty. So let's tell everyone what a failure does here.
Contract
Nothing.
fails.
Yep, contract fails. Nothing happens. All right, the other of you. Do you do anything?
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Kenzie is tired of waiting. Kenzie is tired of hiding. Kenzie is tired of all these goddamn people with all these goddamn books on their faces. And Kenzie is going to run at the nearest bookbinder, with a dexterity plus larceny roll to try and steal their mask.
You can do that. Unfortunately for you, since Kit did that roll, there aren't any in this alley, but you did see one go to the parking lot.
Well, let's head for the parking lot. We need to get out of here anyways, and there might be a car there.
We're also still stealthed.
Yeah, the scene hasn't ended yet, so.
And we haven't taken any offensive actions yet, too. So.
In fact, offensive actions don't break stealth. They have to detect us, thanks to our Darkling friend.
Darkling seeming benefit, yes.
Nice.
We get Cloak of Night until they figure out where we are. And so far, I think only one is aware that we are around.
All right, so Kenzie, are you still heading to the parking lot?
Yes, I am.
Let's head for the lot. I follow hot on their heels.
Which is very easy because Kenzie is short.
All righty.
Take about one step for every two they do.
So you said you wanted to roll.
Dex plus larceny to steal a mask.
All right. Go ahead and make that roll, and we will get into what's happening.
I'm going to use a willpower. Two successes.
All right, 2 successes is a success. So you head to the parking lot under the cover of your contract. You see a bookbinder going towards the cars, looking under them, looking in them. He's got, well, he or she, you can't tell, has a flashlight on them. When they get up, you can see that light glinting off the open book mask that they wear, and you can see the title written on the spine. It says, The Way We Live Now. So you made your roll. Kenzie runs towards the bookbinder and snatches the book off their face. The porcelain mask shatters in her grip, and Kenzie sees a purplish face looking back in surprise. Gems for eyes and long purple ears and a mouth full of fangs. It says, "What? Who? Everyone! They're here! They're here!" Suddenly you hear feet. That is more or less what I was thinking, yes. That's what this one is based off of. So you're right about that, chat. I was thinking of Pokemon Sableye when I made this character. So briefly, just go ahead and make your reflexive stealth action. I assume that since the contract is still active, you still want to be able to use it. In fact, everyone should make that roll.
Okay. Whew.
One success for Kenzie.
2 successes for Kit.
And a failure.
And a failure for Elliot. So,
Gonna have to pick up some skills.
the unmasked bookbinder blinks their eyes twice and then looks around, having completely lost Kinsey in the fray. You can hear about a dozen footsteps from coming from the directions of the street, and the baying of a hound. Luckily, the bookbinders who head to the parking lot don't seem to be able to see Kinsey either. And Kit, from his vantage point, is not found either. However, a figure steps into the light near the parking lot, and instead of going towards that way, the figure turns to the alleyway and is silhouetted in the light. You can see his white beard billowing in the wind. I don't know where your friends are, little rabbit, but I see you, he says, looking at Elliot. So, Elliot, roll your initiative, please.
You got it. Feet don't fail me now. All right, so that's going to be a grand total of 8, looks like.
Alrighty. So that's 8, including your dex mod.
Mm-hmm. Plus 6.
Alrighty. That is not what I meant to do. So I tried to add a bonus on that one. So the huntsman's.
I'll take a different roll than that on their initiative, yeah.
The huntsman bonus is to their initiative 8. So that's 5 plus 8, which is 13. All right, so the huntsman goes first. The bearded huntsman grins at Elliot and levels his rifle. Let's see. That will be wits plus firearms. As a huntsman, he is using hunter's panoply. As a huntsman, this means that while using his panoply, which is his tool and weapon, he gets the 8 again quality.
Wonderful.
Right. Bear with me here.
A quick question, just for future reference. If we roll a 10 on initiative, does that explode?
No. All right. 3 successes. The huntsman levels his rifle at you and fires. The lump of metal hits you directly in the chest. You have armor, though. Let's see.
Armor of 1, and I believe there's no reason why it shouldn't work.
Bear with me here. I just want to read how armor works to the chat here, just in case we have anybody here who is not familiar with Chronicles of Darkness.
Page 9.
The number after the slash is your ballistic armor, and I believe you said that gives you that contract gives you 1/1, so you have 1 ballistic armor, correct?
Yep, so I should only be taking 2 damage, I believe.
Yep. So you take 2 lethal damage.
Wonderful. And you get get myself some bulletproof vest because this isn't going to be enough, but it's better than nothing.
The huntsman smiles at you and says, consider that your warning shot, little rabbits. He reaches into his pocket and grabs another ball to reload his gun. But before he does, he holds it up and says, do you know what this is, little rabbit?
Can Kenzie take it?
If you want, yes.
Can,
Yes, please.
All right, roll. That's going to be Dex plus larceny, please. And
Can I assist by being extremely distracting? I'm talking to him right now. I'm pretty good. And I know this is what my party member is trying to do.
you can either distract or Lex can get Kenzie's defensive. No, you know what? That's wrong. I don't want to roll wrong here. Kenzie gets the reflexive stealth action, and you can roll to distract. Yes.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to I think presence plus expression for some creative insults.
All right. Roll them bones and tell me what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, that should be good. All right, so 3 successes. So I think that I'm going to repeat every piece of profanity I've ever heard from customer service people working behind the counter after a particularly rude customer has been through. So I'm just going to be, just going over every detail about him and finding something nasty to say about it. His beard, his stupid gun, his incredibly stupid dog.
All right, and chat, just to let you know, the reason Kenzie's getting a reflexive stealth roll is they cast Cloak of Night.
Which allows them reflexive stealth whenever they're closed in darkness.
All righty.
Outside at night.
So that's 3 successes on your distraction roll. And Kenzie, give me that dexterity plus larceny roll, please.
3 successes.
Kenzie is just collecting weaponry here.
Yeah, chat, the reason it's still on is because Kenzie is a darkling, and that is the seeming benefit for the contract for darklings. That they don't break the contract until the end of the scene, regardless of whether they take aggressive action.
So I got 3 successes to steal whatever he's holding and 2 successes on my reflexive stealth roll.
All right. Kenzie leaps up and takes what the bullet from the huntsman's hand, rolling away. Suddenly, Kenzie's hand feels brutal pain, unlike any Kenzie has ever felt before. It feels like dipping your hand into magma. Give me resolve plus composure at a -3, please.
Well, know what that one is.
While that's happening, I'm still stealth. I would like to take the aim action.
All right.
Specifically aiming for the huntsman's wrist, the one that appears to be his dominant hand.
I failed my roll. I did not use willpower, so I'm using willpower now to reroll.
All right, before you do that, I would like to ask, would you prefer to take a beat and make this a dramatic failure?
You know what? Yes, I would. I would love to be very dramatic in this failure.
All right, let's do it then.
Well,
you take a beat. Kenzie falls to the asphalt screaming. no longer able to maintain the contract. The cloak of night dissipates and the shadows leave all three of the motley. Kinsey takes 1 aggravated damage as she screams. The huntsman turns and smiles. Little rabbit, perhaps you should have let me speak. That is cold iron. I am a huntsman, a knight of the
You're
fair.
a dick.
I am immune to iron, but you are not.
So what's your thoughts on lead then? Come on, Kit.
I shoot.
All right, and take that bonus from the aim action, please.
All right, so it was Dex plus firearms. So, is right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dex plus firearms, that is 4, 8. So, a total of 9 dice pool.
Looks like 2 successes. How much damage on that gun?
I don't believe I got stats on that. My apologies.
I apologize. I thought I gave them to you. That is a bolt action rifle. So based on that, we'll give it the stats that under just rifle on the weapons chart on page 324 of Changeling the Lost Second Edition, which means that it has a damage rating of 4.
So that's going to be a 6 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I was specifically aiming for his wrist.
So that is 6 lethal damage on his wrist.
Not the easiest way to be.
The huntsman's hand is blown off. The rifle is dropped to the ground. He turns around. The smile has dropped from his face.
Why are you so quiet, little rabbit?
The huntsman rears back and gives a primal scream. He is unleashing the dread power Apex Predator. The huntsman has mastery over lesser predators. By spending 1 glamour, can conjure up a swarm of small animals or birds as appropriate to its nature. These animals will obey its commands and communicate with them clearly, and use this power on a single large animal. In a burst of translucent thorns, the alleyway is filled with huge biting rats.
I grab one and bite it back.
Probably don't.
Well, first they get to roll. Bear with me a moment here. The rats attempt to bite everyone. Kinsey is able to pluck with the one that's trying to bite her off and bite off its head. Of course, there are dozens more, so that doesn't do anything. Kit likewise is missed, able to prance around the rats. One of the rats bites Elliot and gets a mouthful of glass armor in return.
And I hope all of them enjoy all of the free damage I just did them all.
Yep, because they are now within your range. And that, I believe, how much damage does your armor do?
1 lethal. to all of them, but
One lethal to all of them, yes.
don't think they have much on the side of HP being rats.
And
Be
being
like a size 1.
Yeah, and being magically conjured rats. So the rats are all, as they swarm, spiked with glass from your armor. They are injured, but being magically conjured creatures, this does not deter them. So what do you three want to do?
I think this is the make a break for it kind of time. What do you guys think?
I take another shot and start retreating.
Kenzie took tap dancing lessons for 2 years at the insistence of a terrible stepmother and starts tap dancing on their skulls as she runs away.
That was a noise I could have not conjured into my head.
What page was your aim action on again, Kit?
Oh, there's like, hold on, give me a sec.
185, I believe, at the top.
Yeah, it was.
So, 185, yes. Yeah, 185 at the top on the left. So I don't get the bonus because I'm not taking the action. I've already expended it.
Yep, it's expended, so they don't have the shot anymore.
All right, well, go ahead and just make your roll. And are you targeting any of the rats or the huntsman?
The huntsman.
All right.
This time going for his ankle since we're trying to retreat. That's 8.
Gotta love a gun bunny.
Yeah.
All righty. The huntsman dissipates in a burst of smoke and thorns, but you can hear his laughter on the wind. I will be back next time. See you next new moon, little rabbits. However, the noise has brought about the crowd of bookbinders, and they start pursuing them. So everyone, do you still want to make a break for it?
I'm going to say on the absolutely. How many bookbinders are chasing us, and are we able to see any mask titles?
9, and not at this speed and distance.
You got it.
Sure, you guys want to get close to me? I took the last one.
So are you guys going to make the break for it that you were discussing before? Or are you taking a stand?
I don't have a gun. I don't have any weaponry, and I don't have any skills for using them. I was a bartender.
Yeah, let's I'm for skedaddling, but
Okay,
Alrighty.
we should run.
So it is time for a chase. The chase mechanics are as such. In most action scenes, a character's speed trait determines how much they can move. That means that generally they can figure out who is faster without dice. The following rules let you turn the chase into the focus of the scene instead. By default, each party requires 5 total successes to prevail. You can apply modifiers as follows. So we're starting with the 5. Determine the edge. Whoever has better manipulated the environment, terrain, and circumstances to his advantage based on the ever-changing situation gains the edge, not counting circumstances listed above to modify. Each turn represents roughly 30 seconds to a minute of chase time. So everyone is going to make a roll for this. Bear with me a moment. So right now you have the edge because you have your glass armor contract on, which has a range of 1 meter.
Making it a little bit hard to chase me.
So let's say then as the edge, Dice pool. Determine each turn by the side of the edge based on the current situation. You can use a different pool, but unless you have the edge, you lose a 10 again quality on your roll and suffer a cumulative 1 die penalty. So since you guys are literally running, give me dexterity plus athletics, please.
That thing that I'm good at. So, let's see what we got here. Okay, dice pool. Sorry.
Two successes for Kenzie.
Alrighty.
And 2 successes for me. For Kit.
So you two, everyone's gotten 2 successes. I'm going to be counting your pools individually here, but I'm going to be rolling the bookbinders as a group. Okay, so you tie. The bookbinders chase you out of the alley, swords bared. You find yourselves on the street corner. As you head past the street corner, you see several briar wolves joining the hunt. And one of you give me a chance die, please.
Not me. Not me. Not doing it again tonight. Somebody else can take the blame for this one.
Kit, please.
All right. I got you. I haven't had no.
And this is why you got to roll.
All right.
All right. As you run behind you, the 3 of you glance behind and see that some of the bookbinders have pulled away at the behest of a figure on a horse. You can see gold gleaming in the light and a long wooden nose. Everyone give me wits plus composure to hear what he's saying because you're getting farther away as you run.
This motherfucker.
You said wits plus composure?
Yes.
Trained observer? Does that
Kenzie got 0 successes.
1 success.
And
1 success.
all right. So Kenzie's too busy running to listen too well, but Elliot and Kit can just hear him over the wind. Father wants these 3 back, but we can't go back empty-handed after they've discorporated the grim hunter of such. 2 of you, go and gather up some of those mortals from the apartment building. So the 3 of you, are you heading to the parking lot or are you just going to run down the street?
We have to go kill them.
No, you do not.
They're getting oh. All right, so
You said it's porcelain, right?
Their masks are porcelain, yes.
And you're not allowed to remove them because you just took it off and it immediately exploded. You weren't trying to break it, so it being removed breaks it.
Right, but if it's porcelain, all we have to do is take one of those window breakers to their face each time.
Fair enough. Don't got one of those handy, though.
All right, everyone roll me your chase die again.
You got it.
Kenzie rolled 5 dice and got 5 successes.
Dang.
All right. Kenzie is fast. Kenzie has managed to outpace the others. The rest of you, Kit and Elliot, have gotten 2. And the bookbinders roll 2 as well. So the bookbinders are still keeping pace with Elliot and Kit, but Kenzie, in a burst of speed, runs towards another alley and out of their way. Kenzie, give me a chance die.
Two.
All right. Kenzie hides in a nearby alley. Kenzie watches the bookbinders go right past, going after Kit and Elliot. That was a 2 on your chance die. So, as you catch your breath in the alleyway, you notice the window of the darkened apartment before you. You see a message writing itself on the apartment window in the fog. Be quiet.
Kenzie.
Kenzie?
Guys, I need some assistance here because
Here's what I would do. Acknowledge without speaking.
Okay, I will acknowledge without speaking.
All right. Elliot and Kit, give me your chase roll again.
Okay. I'm
First-
going to. I'd like to activate 7 League Leap.
Yep.
And I'm going to see here. Okay. So with 7 League Leap, I get I can clear a jump trajectory of 10 yards / meters per dot. Okay, that part doesn't matter. But it automatically gives me the edge in foot chases. Yeah.
All right. So how you pay your glamour and you activate 7 League Leap.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
So I am going to. Okay. I'm going to try and. Okay. So right now we're going back. We're running down a alley, right?
You guys are running down the street.
Down the street. Okay.
Kenzie ran past you and down an alleyway.
Okay. I'm going to jump. So I'm going to try and jump over some walls and start running down like the street over, basically. So does that work?
Yes.
So jumping from what this was saying is a strength plus athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Strength plus athletics. 4 successes.
All right. You went well past the 5 successes to win the chase on your end. Elliot?
Well, let's see if I can't get out of here. Everyone else has left me behind. All right. I keep running. I got 2 successes. Hopefully I can get out of here.
Kit jumped onto the roof of a building. He watches below as more and more briar wolves converge behind Elliot. There are 7 bookbinders and a small horde of briar wolves after him. Kinsey, back in the alleyway, sees a dim light from further in. It moves forward, and you see the face behind it. You see a changeling girl about a foot taller than you, with curly black hair. She has gray skin, mottled webbed hands, and a organic light dangling off her forehead. She raises a finger to her mouth and goes. She points at the window. She heads up to it, knocks on it, and opens. She whispers to you, "Get inside. I'll grab your friend."
She's literally an anglerfish. Am I supposed to
Yes.
go with the... I'm going with the anglerfish. I get in the window. And she said she's going to get my friend. I find it on the weird.
She looks at the string around her finger and winks, pointedly showing you that she is not unbinding it. As a changeling, you have recently learned that when it comes to a simple bound promise, any fey creature can simply unbind it. They more or less only work as statements of intent for your folk.
But looks like they've accepted that as a proper promise.
Kinsey goes inside. So Elliot is outpacing the horde behind him, outrunning them by quite a bit. But as Kit can see, this can't be a state of affairs that goes on forever. There's simply too many. Elliot.
Question for you. Are there cars on the side of this street that I'm running past?
Mm-hmm.
You know what people don't like running on? Broken glass. I'd like to spend a glamour to shatter as many car windows as you're willing to let me break out onto the street.
All right, do it.
All right, glamour spent. That's got me down to 1. I have a day action I need to take soon.
All right, we'll be wrapping up shortly. So, Elliot, you find yourself near a convenient alleyway, and now the bookbinders and briarwolves behind you have needed to stop in their tracks because there's a sea of broken glass near them. Do you take the alley or do you go another way?
Sorry, can you repeat that, please? I'm sorry.
Elliot, do you go down? Do you go down the alley or do you go another way? Did you hear me?
Yes, I'm going to head down the alley. I've got this opportunity. I need to take it.
All right. As you head down the alleyway, you see a door open in a burst of translucent thorns. A head sticks out of it, a gray-skinned head with a mouth full of fangs, curly black hair, and a little organic light dangling off from her forehead. She motions at you and says, "Your friend's in here. Quick."
I don't have time to ask questions. I need to go. I follow them. Wherever they're going, it's probably going to be better than here.
All righty. You head inside and the door closes behind you. Kit, on your roof, You saw everything that happened. You didn't get to see what happened to Elliot as he went down the alley, but you do see the bookbinders and direwolves meandering around trying to get through the glass without hurting themselves too badly. You hear a knock behind you and see the door to the stairway down opening in a burst of translucent thorns. You see the same face Elliot did. She waves at you and says, good job getting away, but you've got the rest of the night. Your friends are in here. Get in.
Yeah, I go with them.
You head inside, and she shuts the door behind you. The three of you find yourself in what appears to be a small, crowded wooden shack furnished mainly with cushions on the floor. There's a mini fridge to one side, a small shelf of books, and a few nautical posters here and there. And one big poster front and center for the Royal Flush Casino. The Changeling looks up at you, as you guys head in, then looks to her side and says, thanks, Gus. I didn't think we'd make it in time. Then she looks back and says, you three held your own. I saw what you did to the Grim Hunter. That was impressive.
It's a heck of a shot.
She holds out her hand and says, my name is Lucerne Bridgewater. I work for the Royal Flush Free Company. I don't think I've seen you around. Are you affiliated with the Lost Vegas Freehold yet?
Not yet. We literally escaped 2 nights ago.
Well, she says, clapping her hands. She looks at the empty air beside her and says, that's impressive, isn't it, Gus? On a mirror nearby, you see it fog up and the word yes being written. Well, she says, unfortunately, I can't stay and chat, but this is a safe place. Don't open the door before sunrise. That's when the hunt ends. There's a clock.
Easy sell.
There's a clock on the wall behind you. I've got to see if I can find anyone else tonight. She hands you a card. Says, this is my business card. If you come find me in a few days, I might have something to say to you. But for now, I've got places to be and people to help. Come on, Gus. She turns away and opens the door and leaves.
I'm gonna sit down. I'm good for tonight.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
and we're going to wrap here, guys. Congratulations on surviving your first wild hunt. Let's go around the table and do aspirations before we leave.
Okay. So, don't think I made any progress on getting a horse or getting a rifle. Yes, I know I have a rifle, but it's not my rifle. And I think I cleared survived the night.
Definitely. So take a beat for that.
Sweet.
And I'm also going to give you a bonus beat for discorporating the huntsman. The Grim Hunter is going to have some things to say to you next new moon.
All right. So that puts me at 1 XP.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go. I had helped clean up, which I absolutely did. The apartment is spotless as far as I'm concerned. We survived the night, at least last I checked. We got somewhere safe to be, whether or not we got to stay there. I think you guys are relatively fine. There is one instance of aggravated damage, but I mean, is that gonna be make sure my friends don't get hurt disqualified?
They're alive, so I'm not going to disqualify you for that.
And break a mask. I was involved in the breaking of a mask.
I don't think I can give you that one yet, but don't worry, you'll have your chance.
Ah, well, next time.
Kenzie.
Okay, I think that tap dancing on hedge rats would qualify as getting my feet wet.
Yep.
I think that maybe I can take a step towards finding out where I fit in the freehold, being maybe not.
I'll allow that, yeah.
I think I'd like to take a step towards finding a job since we found this whole free company.
I'll allow it.
I found a safe place to spend the hunt, and I survived the hunt.
Alrighty. Take your beats.
All right. That puts me at 2 XP.
All right. Congratulations, everyone. And I would like to remind everyone before in chat before we leave tonight, remember the Pugmire Kickstarter. Remember that Onyx Path game night is the last Friday of every month, I believe, in the Onyx Path chat. And as just one last reminder, if you folks like Changeling, then one of the other streamers will be on the Onyx Path channel. We'll be doing a Changeling one-shot at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Awesome. Also, there's a OGL sale on Indie Press Revolution. I linked it in chat.
All right. Well, thanks very much. And I hope everyone has a great night. And see you again next Saturday.
Bye, everyone.